You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
I didn't realize we started. Hey guys. Man, I don't know. We need some type of countdown clock or something. I thought that I had time to finish off this level, but apparently not. This is our new sexy fuck music. Brett, what do you think of this?
I like it. I like this opening. It's very nice.
Bad, right?
Not bad at all.
We had to go out and find our new music because we're not allowed to have music that's copyrighted.
Right.
So we have a thank you at the end, but this is our new music, and I dig the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's very nice.
How are you doing this week, man?
I'm doing quite well. How about yourself?
Excellent.
Good.
Been a good week.
You said you've been stuck on 202 for 3 weeks?
Yeah, man, on Candy Crush
Which one?
Soda.
Soda.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too goddamn much. Like, it's taken every relaxing minute of my life away. I just keep thinking, I'm going to beat it this time.
Yep.
I'm going to beat it. And they want money out of me bad.
Yeah.
But I refuse to put in a dime. So
It's good on you.
I'll just keep struggling away for probably the rest of my life.
Unfortunately, one of those games that just doesn't give you anything.
No, zero.
Zero. They don't. You can never earn the extra fun things to be
No
able to
magic
move
golden donut.
Nope, nothing like that.
None of those things. Well, let's see. Who do we got in studio with us today?
Well, let's see. We'll start off with our original co-host.
Yeah, sure. I would say that our original co-host, because you kind of came in on
I came
us,
in, absolutely. I was
know?
invited in.
Thank God you did.
Yeah.
But our good friend and...
for the first time in 3 years,
Yep.
I know, on Grand Theft Audio.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Carl
Kozlowski.
Kozlowski. Hey! How
Welcome
you doing,
back,
man?
Carl.
Thank you.
You got to bully it actually a little bit tighter on that than that. I know.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So that music. I was going to comment on that. That definitely felt like a Quiet Storm was happening or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Last night, it's weird. I listened to probably 300 different tracks and songs, trying to find a different right mood. And once you start listening to all these songs, they'll start to sound the same. But now I'm like, fuck this song. You may never hear this song again, America.
I don't know. I like it. I like it in the background right now.
Well,
This is
okay, we'll
kinda
leave it
nice.
for this whole episode.
Cool.
You know, maybe at the end I'll sneak something new in because you'll hear what my second choice is.
Okay.
On the way out.
Well, great.
You know,
Well,
a bit
it's
later.
definitely the background music when you accidentally stumble across. Well, you don't accidentally stumble across these things, but do I? On HBO once in a while, those late night. They just
Are you still jacking off to like
The
HBO's
Cinemax? The
barely
Skinemax?
porn?
Total mistake. Oh my God, what is that?
there's
I had no
pay-per-view.
idea this
I
would be
know.
on.
Yeah.
Also
know?
joining us, you may have heard another voice in there. This is a gentleman I've known for a few years, but it's rare that we've had face-to-face conversations.
Yes.
He's a lawyer. He's helped another person here, T Radio V, Jason Stewart. We talked about it on the air. I don't know if that ever made it here or not. But Mark Wasserman, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for being here. We're here because we are a very pro-weed show, and I want to talk about
that is
your
great.
secondary venture, the Pot Brothers-in-Law.
Pot Brothers at Law.
At law.
At law.
So we'll talk
Yes.
about that then. We have a couple things to start off at the beginning of the show with, though. This was Oscar week. Did any of you actually watch the telecast?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I did not. I was working, so I had to catch everything on little clips like on OscarGo.com and stuff like
Sure.
that.
It's
so.
basically the same thing. Like,
Yep.
you only want to see the highlights of it anyways.
Well, I just
Exactly.
kept fast forwarding through to Chris Rock to see what he was going to say.
Yeah, I thought he
Yeah.
was really
He was
good.
great.
He was
Yep.
really good. I didn't have high expectations for him. I knew it was going to be slap the shit out of white people night. I mean, I knew that was going to happen. So I didn't really look all that much forward to it. But in the end, it wasn't as bad as I thought it could be.
Well,
Well,
he picked on those Asians too, right?
Yeah, man. That was a
bad.
He got
mean
some
little
flack
joke.
for that. It's like, oh, I'm sorry we called Asian kids smart and good at math and predicted they'd be successful someday. Oh my God, stop it.
The whole world is very sensitive to everything, though. You're not allowed to really make fun of anything except for what's in the room right now.
Right.
Like older white men.
Sure.
Like, we're the only target that is like you're able to stab as much as you'd like.
Well, one of the things I found interesting was that they said that this year was the first year where they asked the red carpet interviewers, to stop asking what these women are wearing, that they have more important things to say. And I mean, it comes down to it very simply. It's like, well, yeah, because every single guy along the red carpet is wearing the exact same thing. Maybe it's a slightly different color blue tux that they're wearing, but no one's asking these guys, well, who are you wearing tonight? Of course, they're asking them poignant questions about the world, because that's what we look to.
Man,
our
I saw some interview where they're
actors
asking
for.
some girl like, well, we're not allowed to ask you about your dress anymore. So do you have anything that you'd like to say? And she's like,
Yep.
No, but I'm wearing this.
Yeah, and even then they want to talk about, this star has $4 million worth of diamonds on him. So I guess we're allowed to talk about the diamonds that they have on them, but we can't talk about the actual designer of the outfit anymore. It's weird.
Yep.
Well, I
no
thought
more
that-
free dresses.
I give it up to Chris that I was pleasantly surprised that he took on the Smiths, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, man. I mean,
Yeah, sure, that was great.
He spanked them, man. It
That was great.
Wow. I was, and it was, anyway, so it wasn't, I didn't know.
Yeah, it felt way too flat. I don't think most people realized what she'd even said to get herself into hot water in the first place.
I know I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I think more people looked it up afterwards to see like what and why.
When she hit the stage, the Twitterverse just exploded. Like, who is this chick? Why is she being brought out for the Oscars? And she was top of the list, trending right at that point because nobody knew what was going on.
That's not the kind of reason you want to be trending about either, though. I mean, it's like
she got to be on stage at the Oscars, though.
I know,
mean,
but this
as
is
much as you're trying to make fun of her, like that got her more notice and publicity than anything else that she's done for the last 20 years.
But when it's all negative, that's what's gonna. She's
what's that old adage? There is no bad press.
There's no such thing as bad press.
Yeah.
Clueless 2. Clueless
Maybe
2
they'll make
will
Clueless 2.
will have to be made now.
Clueless 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
as always.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if they're gonna make My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, then come on, Clueless 2 has to come out.
My Tabooly Boogaloo. Tabooly Boogaloo. Yeah. That's. I'm surprised that they are making a sequel to that.
I was surprised at how many of the actors are still alive because it's been so long. And I mean, those were old actors to begin with, and now they're the grandfather's still there. You're just like, holy crap, this is just nuts. There are so many old actors in this film.
Is it a major studio release or some little tiny thing putting it out?
You're right.
$40 million of that. It was horrible, or it was okay. That was it.
I've never seen it. I've only seen parodies of it, so maybe it's better than I think it actually is.
Affecting, a little bit funny and all that, but it wasn't a $240 million masterpiece. I don't know.
See, other things from the Oscars. You had the total ripoff of Chris Rock by trying to sell the Girl Scout cookies off of Ellen's idea last year of ordering the pizzas.
Right.
I thought that was he did it better than her. That dragged with her, man. I thought.
At least this was for something good, as they did raise, I think, something like
$65,000. That's hilarious.
No, was that just money
in
pockets
Yes.
from people who were sitting there?
I think Carl's right.
Sure.
There's a lot of white guilt right there. It's like, hey, look at all these cute little black girls coming out with their cookies. Come on, Leo, you made $30 million for Relevant. Or whatever it is.
Fucking that bear, whatever it was.
Did you see that?
Yes.
It was amazing. The bear hits him twice. Like, oh yeah, I want a little more.
The whole idea, though, that he was the best actor from last year, I think is ludicrous to me.
Who do you think is better?
Okay, I just think that he won an endurance contest. There was nothing about acting in that movie.
True.
It was just like, how many times can you get punched in the balls and keep standing up and be like, all right, let's film some more, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, just do a film with Ford Austin,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
and he'll beat you up good. He'll get you beat up good.
That is where we originally come together. We've all seen his
Film.
Dahmer versus Gacy.
Right, which actually just was released on Netflix.
What?
I saw it. It showed me stuff that's available in March, and there it was, Dahmer versus Gacy. I was like, that is awesome. I can finally show people this movie I've been talking about for years.
And I play a character named Boz Hasseldorf, the bowler.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
in
That's
that
right.
movie.
There was a little bit of a side note to that. There was a health scare yesterday as they thought that the last Munchkin, who was also in Dahmer vs. Gacy, had passed. But it turns out he's okay. So he's still good.
Oh, that's good.
This is from a family member. This is, I believe, his niece.
Yeah, we went to school with his
went
niece.
to high school
Jerry
with her.
Marin,
Yeah, Jerry Marin.
Jerry Marin.
Wow.
'Cause, I saw that on Facebook yesterday.
91,
I think.
yeah,
90, I think
something like that. So he's gotten quite old. Okay, hey, last thing I want to talk about in this first segment. Carl, what is Ferris Fest.
Oh yeah, so basically, I'm obsessed with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's like religion to me, Buellerism I call it. And the movie I wanted to be like this guy. I was a Cameron, I admit, and when I saw it. And basically 30 years later now, I saw the frenzy about Back to the Future last fall. And so me and this relatively new friend at the time, we were both going all the Back to the Future events, and we thought, hey, what else is coming up for 30? And so we decided, let's do it for Ferris Bueller. It's going to be crazy. In Chicago, we're even recreating the parade and doing Q&A star screening with Richard Roper, location bus tours. You can go to Ferris's bedroom. Somebody recreated it to a T, and they're bringing it down to Chicago. It's going to be pretty cool. May 20th through 22nd. And we sold out the overall VIP stuff. So you can get, you can still take part in, go see the room, go to a second screening, things like that, but you miss out on the location bus tours.
Well, you snooze, you lose. But they could learn more information about it at
ferrisfest.com, FERRISFEST.
Cool, man. We'll come back on the other side, and we'll learn more about Mark's Pot Brothers at Law and some other stuff. So stick around, man. What else do you have better to do? Damn.
You're watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hi kids, Billy and Francesca here for my brand new show at T Radio V, Advice from an Idiot, every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. So please call in and get some advice from someone who knows absolutely nothing about everything.
I'm Zoe Williams.
And I'm Dr. Mark Goulston. I'm Jeff Brown.
And we make up the Zoe What Morning Show. You can find us here on TRadiov.com every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I make you think.
He makes you laugh, and if I get a chance, I'll help you change.
Or make you cry with his attempts at humor.
Radio in TV.
Can you relate? We'll make it happen.
Look at you. What you doing?
Were you mumbling to yourself?
Hey, back there mumbling.
To them. To them.
Hi, I'm Plastic Martyr, and I've got a new show called Just Like You on T Radio V. It's an inside look into my Hollywood life where I give you a sneak peek into a world of beauty, fashion, and fame. Illusions will be shattered. And of course, there's a little sex, hugs, and rock and roll. Be sure to check it out Wednesdays at 11, only on T Radio V.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Mark and Craig, Pot Brothers at Law. When driving your vehicle, never keep your meds in your pocket. When you get pulled over, the cop could get you out of the car, pat you down, find your meds, and then that could lead to more of a search, right or wrong. Tip of the day. Mark and Craig, Pot Brothers at Law. For delivery drivers working for collectives, take the extra few minutes before you get in your car. Walk around, check the lights, check the blinkers, make sure everything's working, make sure your tags aren't expired. Decrease chances of getting pulled over. Tips of the day. Mark and Craig, Pot Brothers at Law. Based on all the questions at the secret sesh last night, we got to tell you that whether you're carrying a gram or 500 pounds, if you have your recommendation, your patient member agreements, your corporate documents, everything on you, you could still get arrested. So shut the fuck up still.
Shut the fuck up still. I love that. So, Mark, tell me, how did these videos start getting together? Where'd your interest in marijuana law come from?
Okay, well, my brother, I've been doing criminal defense for 20 years. My brother's been doing civil work and workers' compensation for almost 30 years. And his kid, my nephew, 15 years ago or so, when he was a teenager, showed heavy interest in cannabis and the way it helped heal people who were sick. Mm-hmm. He had a friend who was ill with cancer and so on and so forth. And he had a knack for it, and he had an interest in it. And we told him, if you're going to do it, you're going to follow the cannabis laws that do exist for medicinal purposes. So we learned Prop 213, AB 420, the Attorney General guidelines, all the laws that have dictated medicinal cannabis and how patients can use it and how it can be distributed to patients and how you can do it so you are not just drug dealing, which 95% of the places and shops out there and delivery services out there are doing just that.
Yeah, I think so too. That's accurate.
They're not following the guidelines and the laws. So nonetheless, that's how we schooled ourselves in it. Over the years while he was in the business, he picked up a couple of felonies that, quite frankly, he never should have got. And because he listened to us, shut the fuck up, we were able to make those felonies go away and get all of the medicine back that, in one instance, the Newport Beach Police Department took, and we got a court order to get all the meds back.
I think I saw one of your videos of that, of like kind of the victory of it being put back into the car. That was awesome.
Yes. And so, and that was a long while ago. And so over the last 8 to 10 years, my nephew has built up quite a company and a following, not only in the cannabis world, but in the, the urban wear world and with hats and clothing and all this other stuff. And last year, last January 2015, he said to me, his father and I, come out, there's something called the Cannabis Cup. Are you familiar with the High Times Cannabis Cup?
Yes.
Okay. So we didn't know anything from that stuff. So come out, we're going to have a booth there. We're going to be doing our thing, sit on the side, create some cards, and you can give out free advice and, you talk to people and give out advice and get some new clients. So we came up with Pop Brothers at Law and made these cards. We didn't have the 15-second, 25 words on there yet, but we sat there, and the first thing we did when we went to this event was nearly shit our pants because we just could not believe it was just a drug dealing swap meet, and nobody was abiding by any of the laws that exist for medicinal cannabis functions like this and distributing to patients. And there's a structure, there are guidelines, there are laws.
They were just sitting there waiting to get rated by the DEA, basically.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we're not going to follow because we've taken the time to put these laws into effect. Follow them, and you're not going to have a problem.
Well, and so what the problem has become over the last 20 years, those laws have been scarcely enforced. I mean, these events have been going on for 15, 20 years now, and everybody's been doing it so wrong for so long that they're complacent, they don't care. Some don't even realize it and know. And as we had predicted a couple years ago, legalization's coming. Raids and arrests are going to ramp up because it's going to be the end of the drug war, and it's going to be bloody because law enforcement doesn't want legalization to happen.
Totally makes sense.
They want to oppose it. And the last year and a half, raids have ticked up. People are getting shut down. The Senate bill went into effect, but they don't actually go into effect until 2018. So it's operating under the current state of the law. So we were able to see that all these people, the patients, the people who had the companies, they were misinformed by many other professionals, accountants and attorneys, and with that misinformation and disinformation, they're at risk, and people go to jail for felonies when you can have a complete defense, as perfect as a defense could be. There's not very many felonies you can go commit that you could come to me and I can say, well, look, if you do this, this, and this, and you get busted and they're alleged that you're trafficking drugs and not dealing in medicinal cannabis, you will have a defense. We can show the books, we can show all this and that, ABC, right down the line. But if you don't have that, you can have a substantial compliance defense. Hey, I'm doing part of it, I'm doing most of it. But like I tell all my clients, if I'm going to commit a felony, I want to have 6 bullets in the chamber, and I want to have a full defense available to me. So at that High Times Cup, we met a fellow named Adam Ill, he goes by, and he has a talk show that's on Be Real TV, at Getting High with Adam Ill. My nephew knows all these people and told him, hey, my uncle, my father, they're attorneys, they represent me, they'll come on your show and dab and smoke and get high with you and talk about the issues and this and that. So that was in like late January of 2015. And at that show, my nephew again, you don't have an Insta. I'm like, I'm pushing 50 and I'm like, Insta where? And so the first thing I did was realize you can't do it on the computer.
Sure,
Gotta
that's
do
right.
everything on the phone
Yep.
with the thing. So we created it, went on this talk show there. And since then, we got like 53,000 followers and growing, couple hundred a day seem to pile on. We've gone to many of these events and now have gone on stage doing our tips. And I created a slam poem that I do. A couple months ago, we went on just before the game at something called the Blazers Cup. So we're reaching so many people with this. Not only, it started with the cannabis and protection for patients and understanding their rights. I mean, that's a whole other, their rights as cannabis patients walking around with their card they have to have. I mean, you don't need a card to get your Prozac and show your, you
And
got to
keep it on you the entire time, yeah.
You got to have your card on you if you're going to carry your meds, and you got to have it on you. So bled into that was how to deal with the cops. And we came up with the 25 words that you say when you are dealing with the cops. And as it was meant for cannabis patients who deal with, what's that smell? I smell something on you. Turns into, what's that smell on your breath? Alcohol? You had a drink, you had this, what did you have? And most people in that situation think it's okay to say, oh yeah, I had one drink, which is more often than not a straight up lie.
Sure.
Which you don't want to lie to the cops because you don't want to get caught in a lie. And the only way not to get caught in a lie is to not say anything. So hence we came up with these 25 words, which when we, back to the Instagram, when I was screwing around with it, you can do 15-second videos. Like, what the hell are we going to do? I don't know.
Sure,
okay,
15 seconds doesn't seem like it's much.
It does, right? And then
Right.
we started in with these, how to deal with a pullover. And we just did a series of them over the last 2 days that we redid them. It was kind of like the first thing we did. And it was like right from you see the lights, you pull over safely, put your hands on, turn off your car, put your hands on, watch these. What is this? I don't know. And so when I realized after about 2 or 3 weeks we had 5,000 followers, and I'm like, well, Jesus, it took me like 8 years to get 5,000 friends on Facebook. We got 5,000 people in it. And so being in the film industry, being a filmmaker, I told my brother, I'm going to wear this. You're going to wear that hat. And that hat's his kids. That's his kids' stuff.
Sure.
And kind of like a Jay and Silent Bob and, two characters, because I thought maybe something could happen with that. And we can engage people, get them to listen to us, and teach them a thing or two that's practical, that you can use in your everyday life. And it just, the people liked watching the bloopers more than...
Sure, I've seen the bloopers ones. They are pretty funny, there's no doubt.
We posted it one day. We were like, post a blooper. And it hit, and people were just like, whoa, more. We want to see more of that stuff. Because some people thought we'd do it, go out there, 15 seconds, done. No, it takes an hour sometimes.
Well, I've seen most of them. I've seen you post them over the years on Facebook and everything, and I think it is important to learn these 25 words. I think about them all the time, because I do roll around with stuff. I don't roll around with stuff on me, but
well, are you a cannabis patient?
Yes,
but you have your meds.
Look, okay, I don't.
It's okay.
I'm so conflicted. I'm an honest person. Okay, I understand that medical marijuana is a total thing. But there's also there's just marijuana enjoyment. Like, I don't technically have something
Well, hold on.
Unprovably wrong with me.
Is it alcohol enjoyment?
Sure,
the difference?
sure. Well, I guess the legal...
It's not recreational alcohol.
The legal ramifications are the only thing that's different. I mean, we're going to change it, but I just wish that there was more respect for, like, the party side of marijuana. We celebrate the party side of alcohol.
We're headed that way, though. California's headed that way. It's going to be on the ballot this year. So at the presidential election, where we're going to get the biggest turnout, we'll actually see if the state's willing to do what Colorado has done and what Oregon and Washington State have done.
Yes, we're voting Trump in for office. Hey, let's learn these 25 words real quick.
All right. It's, why did you pull me over? I'm not discussing my day. am I being detained or am I free to go? If you're detained, you say, I invoke the fifth. Those are the 25 words. And then you shut the fuck up. Hashtag STFU.
That's the hard part. My favorite part there is, I'm not discussing my day. Like that's the line I think about all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You had anything to drink? I'm not really talking about my day today, sir.
What I think the only thing that I think is risky about that is like people get it wrong and they're just even a little bit high. What if they throw in "shut the fuck up" to the officer?
we have made it very clear to people, but you're right. We tell them, no, it's not.
They're going,
you
shut
shut
the fuck up,
the
man.
fuck up. You never
That
say
isn't one of the lines.
Yeah,
Well,
you're polite and comply with the cop's request, and shut the fuck up. Know your constitutional rights to not incriminate.
And where
yourself.
can people learn more?
They can learn more at potbrothersatlawcom. Follow us on Instagram at potbrothersatlaww. That's POT_at_law_brothers.
We'll put a link up on our page. So we'll be
It's all
back on-
underscores. potbrothers@law.
Yeah, we'll be back on the other side. We have our normal content as we'll get through our holidays and that stuff. So stick around and remember, why did you pull me over? I'm not discussing my day. Am I being detained or am I free to go? And if not, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Thank you.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
I'm Laura Samoza.
I'm Sterling Gardner.
And we are Between the Sheets every Monday here, 3 p.m., tradiov.com.
T Radio V.
That's right, it's T Radio V, radio in TV. What is that face?
He wants to see our hands.
That's radio in TV. Wah, 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 wah.
We're not a couple. Hi kids, Billy and Francesca here for my brand new show at T Radio V, Advice from an Idiot, every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. So please call in and get some advice from someone who knows absolutely nothing about everything.
Hey, my fellow thoughters out there. I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought, with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. So tune in, grab your phones, call me, tweet me, email me in the studio, and let's get this conversation going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. That's radio in TV.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
All right, we're back here on Grand Theft Audio Radio. This is Jake Belcher.
And I'm Brant Thoman.
Joining us in studio still is...
Mark Wasserman with Pop Brothers at Law.
And...
Carl Kozlowski, original co-host.
That's right, man.
But I keep thinking that I'm in a Dr. Dre video. I'm waiting for Snoop Dogg to walk in with that music.
Sure. You know what? That's not bad. It's not a bad way of thinking.
I can see it.
Especially with the amount of discustion of marijuana going around.
There should be some of that smoke in the air.
Well, you are on GTA, so that is what we talk about all the time.
All the time.
What else do we talk about all the time? We do holidays.
Our holidays indeed.
Fucking love holidays, man. Like, I know that March... Okay, what are the big holidays for March?
Big holidays?
420.
Yeah, well, that's
that's
in
like
April.
Well, no, hold on now.
Yeah.
Every day in March,
yes,
it is 4:20 p.m. and 4:20 a.m.
That's true too.
So,
sure.
I mean, that's
so
what
we
I
celebrate that twice a day.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Don't you? Can we celebrate now? Is that allowed in here? What are the rules in here?
Yeah. Well, no smoking in here, unfortunately, which is a drag, man. Yeah.
You invited the Pop Brothers at Law,
and
there's no smoking.
We'll go to the roof.
Edibles.
And, we'll make sure we do edibles, vapor. We actually have I can't say. There's another network that shoots very close to here. That's called Z420, where they do
Z420.tv.
Marijuana and that stuff. I've seen them before, but that's all I can say there. Okay, yeah, holidays. The reason I got into holidays in the first place and like realizing these things is because March. I grew up a very poor kid. I walked up and down like the aisles of the frozen food section one day, and I realized, Mom, everything is cheap as shit today. I don't know what's going on. Like, there's some weird thing that's happening here, and everything's just like it's almost free in the frozen food aisle. I found out because in this was Presidential Proclamation 5157. President Ronald Reagan declared, "Now therefore I, Ronald Reagan, President of the United States of America, do hereby proclaim March 6th as Frozen Food Day."
What?
"And I call upon the American people to observe such day with appropriate ceremonies and activities."
I.e. ducking around the microwave, huddling around the microwave.
Yeah. So like frozen food is cheapest in the month of March to celebrate. There's all these like subsidies that go in, and so that's when you can go to the store and stock up on your favorite frozen food.
Growing the new stuff that's gonna be in our food in the upcoming months.
So, what is your all-time favorite frozen food?
Oh man.
Are you a TV dinner person? Did you ever have a favorite TV dinner?
Oh, Marie Callender, fettuccine Alfredo.
Dude, that stuff is good.
Or pot pie from Marie Callender.
That pot pie is maybe the worst thing sold for you at the grocery
1,200 calories.
It's crazy. How about you, Mark?
Bagel dogs.
Bagel dogs.
Good one.
Yeah, those are delicious.
I've always been a huge fan of the Stouffer's microwave mac and cheese.
Yeah,
the Stouffer, not the little thin one. You got to get like it's supposed to be like not the family size. That's too much for me. But they have that big serving one that's perfect. After a night of work, you just drop that in for 5 minutes, and then boom, it's creamy, cheesy, wonderful goodness.
I am addicted to the 25 cents Tina's burritos.
Yes.
Yeah, they're one of the shittiest food items in the entire store, but I can eat them all goddamn day.
Whoa.
Let's see what else we have for the month. This is also National Noodle Month. Does anybody have a noodle that they like more than others?
I like the wider noodles more than the skinny noodles when you're having pad thai or whatever, things like that.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know what they call them, but I
Flat
like the
noodles?
Yeah, flat. Yeah.
Wet noodle.
Wet noodle?
Wet noodle.
Yeah, or getting your noodle wet, that's
bad one
always
at all.
good too.
I don't know. I just any kind of Italian pasta is fine with me. I like all shapes and sizes when it comes to the carbs.
I think the best noodle is the no yolk egg noodle.
Oh yeah,
made by like the Amish.
What?
Yeah.
What's so great about that?
It's heavy and it sucks up a lot of sauce when it touches whatever is on it. Like it's super absorbent to the sauce.
Where can you buy this at?
I think
at the grocery store.
Yeah,
it'll say no yolk on it. So no
yolk egg noodles, and it's made by the Amish, and it's so good, man, so good. All right, we have a couple of weeklies. This is National Cheerleading Week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Gotta say, when I worked up at Universal Studios, it was one of my favorite weeks because
Creepy perv. Let's hear it.
Yeah, creepy perv. Because you would have. Granted, they were a little young at some points, but once
But
you
you
got
were
to
young when you worked
Yeah,
there.
you're right. But there were days where the high school girls and the college girls would come in, and they'd all be in their little uniforms, all in the little short skirts, legs for days to look at, and I mean, come on. Being 18 years old and in a theme park, and you're seeing, 16 to 24-year-olds just prancing around with their little pom-poms.
18, please.
So
18.
I've been there.
Legal
The
advice.
16-year-olds
Legal
still
advice.
I just kept an eye on them. I didn't do anything other than
Legal
look. I did
advice.
everything legal there.
Sure. I was at Disneyland one day during the National Cheerleading Championships, and for some reason the best place to sit was at the bottom of Splash Mountain, where they came down and they all got soaked with water. And now I sat there and I watched them for hours to make sure that none of them would drown.
Sure, yes.
Very kind.
Certainly.
That was certainly out of the kindness of my heart.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Service to the community. Good job.
Let's see what else we got. This is also National Pet Sitters Week. I will not have a pet that needs to be needs someone to sit with it, because I don't trust people hanging out in my house and not going through my drawers.
Okay. When you do go on vacation, you have 2 cats. Do they go to the kennel or
no? They get a huge pile of food and
that's it.
Just go.
Yeah, and hopefully it lasts until they get back, because honestly, the reason I don't trust people is because you couldn't trust me to pet sit your house.
Right.
Like I would totally look in like your videos and see your homemade porn.
Open out the liquor cabinet. Wow,
Sure.
look at all that.
I would do all that stuff. Have you guys ever had pet sitting jobs or pet sitters you suspected looked at your stuff?
No.
I've never done pet sitting. I've done house sitting, and that's fun because you get to live in somebody else's house, and you're basically given permission to go through all their stuff. I mean, if you're keeping an eye on stuff, I'm just making sure it's all still here.
Yeah, there's a creepy edge there. That you really got to trust
the
that
guy
person.
who's going in to feed the cat then starts going through the drawers. That's not creepy.
I'm saying it's creepy. I am not making a case at all that it's good or bright or normal. I'm saying it's creepy.
I'm just too allergic to just about any animal to even consider doing that. But, I've told you over the years.
You'd be a disaster.
Yes.
You would not make it to feed pets on time, and you wouldn't, I don't know, would you care? Would you feel bad if there was a hungry dog?
Slightly, perhaps. Maybe if I'm, trying to cover my tracks if anything went wrong, yeah.
That's more than I thought that you would, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Last weekly we're going to do before we go to our final commercial break. This is also Will Eisner week. Will Eisner was the first person to make graphic novels.
Oh.
His biggest work was The Spirit.
The Spirit.
And this week we celebrate Will Eisner by reading graphic novels. Brant, I know you're a big fan of these. Do you have any that you could suggest to people?
You know what? You're springing this on the top of my head. I wish I had thought about it earlier because I do know that Will Eisner, every year, it's one of the biggest awards in the comic industry. That if you win an Eisner award, that means that everybody.
He was the first person to really start continuity between one story and another. Like before, a Superman story would just be Superman, and then they would start off the next week, and nothing's changed.
Right, exactly. At the end of the book, you finished it, and there was no continuing storyline.
Right.
And then Eisner sat there and said, "Well, if people are going to continue to buy this, they're going to want to have something more than a new, fresh story. You want to know some more about what happened in the past to go with it." So,
well, it's considered one of the only real American art forms as well. Jazz and graphic novels. I'm sure that's more than that.
I'll think about it maybe on the backside of our next break.
Do you guys ever read any comic books yourselves?
Yeah, I always liked The Flash.
Sure.
And I'm so happy with the show that's on now.
It's really good. They've done an amazing job on these TV shows, making it seem like it's fun, because the movies aren't fun. The movies are drags, but the TV shows have been very fun.
Well, the effects are finally there.
Sure.
Absolutely.
They've tried it over the years, and it's never really been that good.
Yeah, you got a guy walking on the ground, and they turn this camera sideways, and they're like, "Oh, he's climbing a wall." They don't do that anymore. How about you, Carl?
I don't know. I was weird. I never really got hooked into comic books. I was I found David Letterman when I was 9 years old doing the morning show. And so I started sneaking watching SNL and late night shows when I was 10. So I never really got into comic books. I don't know why, but I can tell they're awesome. But that's about it. Yeah, I like the movies.
I can understand that. I was never really a comic book person either, and I think it was because I spent most of my time thinking about comedy and watching, anything that made me laugh.
Yeah, I was the big comic book guy. I mean, I do have a collection of still graphic novels. Actually, I can think of one. My favorite for sure is Sin City by Frank Miller. The original. It's still got such a wonderful visceral feeling to it. Even now, going back and reading it, even though I've read it easily 100 times, every single time it's just the capturing of both word and the pictures that this artist, because Frank Miller both illustrated and wrote it. So it's a brilliant book.
I'll make a recommendation before we go off to break based upon a book that you lent me. Some of the Sandman books are incredible.
Yeah, Seasons in the Mist is a great one.
Seasons in the Mist is great, yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many different ones that they did, because that was what was great about that series, is that they were intended to become graphic novels. You just had to read them episodically when they came out.
And I think they're going to make a movie out of it.
There's a movie on the way.
There's a movie on the way. That. All right, we're going to come back on the other side. We're going to do our holidays of the day and wrap this shit up. Yeah. So, you got about 14 minutes. You can start jerking off.
You're watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hi kids, Billy and Francesca here for my brand new show at T Radio V, Advice from an Idiot. every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Time. So please call in and get some advice from someone who knows absolutely nothing about everything.
Hi, I'm Plastic Martyr, and I've got a new show called Just Like You on T Radio V. It's an inside look into my Hollywood life where I give you a sneak peek into a world of beauty, fashion, and fame. Illusions will be shattered. And of course, there's a little sex, hugs, and rock and roll. Be sure to check it out Wednesdays at 11, only on T Radio V.
You are watching T Radio V. Radio in TV.
We truly love him in a house. We truly love him with a mouse. We truly love him here or there. We truly love him anywhere. Today is Dr. Seuss's birthday, so it's Dr. Seuss Day! Okay, what was your favorite Dr. Seuss book?
The 500 Hats of Bartholomew Cubbins.
Yep, that was going to be mine as well.
So awesome.
Okay, so what makes that one stand out for both of you?
I have very fond memories of my grandmother reading to us, and then we got the book itself. I actually own the copy, and it is a first edition. It's a first edition school version, which means it didn't have a dust jacket or anything. So it's not like the rarest of finds, but it was just kind of cool to find that I have a first edition Dr. Seuss book.
Okay, but that doesn't tell me anything about the story.
No, the story it's about
you have a valuable book.
It's a kid. It's about a kid who is super poor, and he heads to town to sell his cranberries, and while there, he's supposed to take his hat off when the king rides by, and when he does, the hat's still there. And so the king gets mad and snatches him up.
I remember that story.
And as he's riding away, he's knocking off hats as he goes, and he gets to the king's castle, and there are a whole bunch of things that they have to go through to try and get this hat off this kid's head, and it doesn't happen. They finally
save it for the end for people who don't know,
and it goes from
for
there.
People who don't know. We haven't given out a spoiler alert.
No, well, I think the title itself is a bit of a spoiler. It is the 500 hats.
Hey, look, if I get to $4.99 and I find out there's 2 hats later, I'm gonna kick Dr. Seuss's ass. Mark, how about you? What was your favorite Dr. Seuss?
Hop on Pop.
Hop on Pop? Sure.
Hop on Pop.
That's Seuss?
Sure.
It is.
I was always a 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish.
Well, I see. I wear hats to this day because of Bartholomew Cubbins.
Wow.
Yeah.
He always finds a way to really make it about himself.
I will say, The Cat in the Hat itself was not one that I was ever really that fond of. I thought it was a cute story, but there were so many other books that he wrote that were so much better, so much more entertaining, at least as a kid.
While we're on the subject of books, tomorrow is National Book Day. What is your all-time favorite book from your life?
The Survivor by Jack Eisner.
Okay, why does that stick out for you?
Because it was one of the first books I read that my dad said, just please read this one. After saying, no, I'm not going to, I have to read for school. I don't even remember what year it was. But it was about a Holocaust survivor who fought his way through with the rebels and all that stuff, and based on a true story deal, and I just never forgot it.
What's the title of it again?
The Survivor.
All right, Carl. What's your favorite book all time?
Okay, fiction Catch-22 and nonfiction Live from New York. The Saturday Night Live book.
Brent?
Mine is The Dharma Bums by Jack Kerouac.
I read that because you gave it to me.
Yeah, that's right. It's a book that whenever I find it in a used bookstore, I buy a copy and I give it to a friend with an inscription inside of it, usually, just because it was a book that in my early 20s really kind of just opened up my mind to just, I don't know, there's just so many different wonderful parables in it, so that's definitely my favorite. What about you?
Probably the Illustrated Kama Sutra. No. Like, honestly, I've never learned shit from that book. I read it all the time, and everything looks impossible in it. Okay, I would say probably my most my favorite book is probably it's a book called The Truth Machine. And it's kind of based upon like how people lie.
I read that because you gave it to me.
Yeah,
so.
love it. Let's see what else we got going on this week. Friday is Employee Appreciation Day. You guys have all had bosses, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Have you ever had any boss celebrate Employee Appreciation Day?
Never.
Nope, it's bullshit.
Nope.
So
well, I've never been a secretary, so I didn't have that day. So
fuck that day, man. No one's gonna do shit on it. Saturday is Sock Monkey Day.
What?
It's a day to celebrate the sock monkey.
Who came up with that, and how do you celebrate it?
Well, you're supposed to make your own sock monkey. You can go to
It sounds dirty.
You can go and learn how to cut a sock into a monkey.
Oh, okay.
This is one of those toys that shouldn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
Because I understand that when it was popular in like 1907 or something, there weren't toy manufacturers. So if you could make your own sock monkey and give that to your kid, that's probably wonderful.
Exactly. It's an inexpensive stuffed animal for a kid.
But now, we should really retire the entire concept of sock monkey.
What's the sock in it?
What's the name of the artist that's so popular that has the sock
Paul
monkey?
Frank.
Paul Frank. It's like you're going to
He's
put
just
him
ripped
out
off
of
that sock monkey.
you're just gonna put him out of business.
He's not even a good person, What else we have going on? Sunday is the Day of the Dude.
Nice.
Oh,
celebrating the release of
The
Big
Big
Lebowski.
Lebowski.
It was released on the
420,
6th of March in 1998.
is there a Lebowski Fest this weekend everywhere? I need to
All
go to
over
that.
the place,
All
man.
over.
Damn,
All
I gotta
over
go
the
to
place.
that. I wonder if it's sold out.
Yeah, probably. There's so many things. There's the Tao of Dude, and there are religions that have
Like my Buellerism.
very similar.
Yes, the
very
dude.
similar.
Sure.
Let's see. Monday is National Cereal Day. National Cereal Day. I still love cereal. I can eat a bowl of cereal every day. My favorite adult cereal, even though it's still kind of a kid's cereal, is Golden Grams. I can eat those all the time. What were your guys' favorite cereals?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon
Oh,
Toast
God.
Crunch.
That's so good.
And it's kind of close to Golden Grams. There's a similarity.
My all-time favorite has always been Fruit Loops. Just
Okay, look at these. Look at these. Hold on. Pull up some of these.
Frankenberry.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
That was fun.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Frankenberry got in trouble when it was first made because they used a pink dye that when you shit it made your poop pink.
Nice.
So
What?
that's why they had to pull it off the market initially. So that's awesome.
Wow.
Carl, favorite.
I was going to
cereal?
say about Fruit Loops, one little piece of trivia, because I'll admit I'm borderline diabetic. I have to watch what I eat now. And the Honey Nut Cheerios is actually worse for you than Fruit Loops. Can you believe that?
I
For
do
real.
believe it.
I believe
For
that.
real.
Absolutely.
I do
I'm
believe
shocked. Favorite cereal all time? I like Honey Bunches of Oats.
those
I
are
love
good
those.
too, man.
Oh my god, I could still eat those. I'm happy.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was growing up, we used to buy the worst cereal in the world at Pick and Save. Because Pick and Save
these
used
are
to
gonna
Are those
get-
still around?
Yeah, man.
they're called Big Lots.
Big Lots.
They're
now.
called Big
Oh,
Lots.
my
They were bought
God.
out
So
by Big Lots.
Pick and Save used to have these terrible kids cereals. I have some of them up on here.
Oh, my
Like,
God.
they put up one there earlier on the Mr. T, and Mr. T.
Yes! I remember Mr.
Okay,
Yes!
now look at this side by side, okay, and see all these cereals. They all have the same fucking terrible cereal inside of it. They're all these yellow puff things that have no flavor or anything to them. All they do is put a celebrity on front. Look at that Donkey Kong cereal. It's the same fucking terrible yellow cereal that's in it. Like all they do is put same fucking terrible yellow
It's
cereal.
just a different shape. That's all they have to do. Just different.
You got
different mold.
squares or rounds.
Oh,
Gremlins.
God, really?
I remember the Gremlin cereal.
Yeah, that
Ew.
stuff was all terrible. We had.
I remember Batman cereal. Remember
Okay,
that?
okay. Here's my last story of the day. Okay, so my brother went to like the school for like retarded kids, and for some reason they all showed up on like buses.
I feel bad for them.
I know. But one day they all showed up on like bicycles at our house, and we didn't have anything to like feed them. They're all hungry and stuff. So all I could think of to do was take some Hulk Hogan cereal and some marshmallows and like make cereal nachos for these kids. And they're sitting there like, and once they microwaved, they became really crunchy. And I couldn't tell if the kids' teeth were breaking or if it was just it was terrible. Hey, those are our holidays. Hey, we have a couple of recommended reading things. One, read about comedian Mike Ward in his Human Rights Tribunal in Quebec. It's fucking crazy. Also, go to slate.com, read Patton Oswald's story on Bill Hicks. Coming up in May here in Los Angeles, we have the Museum of Broken Relationships. You should look up and donate items. Maybe your story can make it into the museum. It's pretty interesting. Follow them on Instagram and all that shit. Next week is Jasmine St. Clair, and it's my birthday show, so I have a couple people dropping by. It should be a lot of fun. Mark, where can people learn more? One more time.
PopBrothersAtLaw.com. Follow us on Instagram at PopBrothersAtLaw.
All right, this is our other song.
And you can learn about Ferris Fest at ferrisfest.com, FERRISFEST.
And I didn't realize that I had gotten my Twitter handle wrong because we go this far back, but mine is Brant, no, GTAR Brant.
All right.
Grand Theft Audio Radio brand.
All right, and you can always follow me at Jake Belcher, at Jake Belcher GTA, and you can tune in every Wednesday here to T Radio V for Grand Theft Audio. I really appreciate you guys coming by this week. Appreciate you guys coming by here.
Thank
you.
you.
And stick around, top of the hour. There's a brand new episode of Drum Smack, and watch
that.
Watch them. What are you, a dick? Fucking watch that show. You can
Thanks
jerk
for
off
watching.
later.
You are watching T Radio V, Radio and TV.